This is my improved tool for exporting data from Power BI Desktop into CSV file. Now, in one of my earlier posts, I made and explained this simpler tool, and I also explained how to create a button in Power BI Desktop file and how to call a Python script from it. Now I'm going to explain this new and improved tool. First, we have one Power BI Desktop file that has two sample tables, a small one and a big one with 100,000 rows. Beside this, we have a table that has those stored queries. Now, in first column, we have names of queries, and in second column, we have a definition of queries. And actually, in each row, we can have several queries. For example, here we have 3 queries. For each query, we have first defined a name of a CSV file that will be created, then delimiter, that is comma in this case, and then we have a doc string that will be executed. And we have that 3 times, so when we call this query, we are actually going to create 3 CSV files. I'm going to open my export to CSV tool. And first, I'm going to find all of these stored queries in this list box. So this and this here is the same. Beside this, we can just type some docs here. For example, sample table. And we can give a name to CSV file that will be created by this doc string. And we can choose one of the delimiters that will be used in our CSV file. If we want to type something else, we can click on this button and all of this text will be cleared, so we can type it again. Now, for these stored queries, we can select some of them. For example, we can select this one, or we can select the first and second one, or all of them, or any combination. And if we want to deselect all of them, we have this button, deselect, and now all of them are deselected. Now, if I right-click on this first row, I'm going to see definition of this first query, and here I can change something. For example, instead of Q, I can use Z letter, or I can use 7 instead of 1, and I'm going to click on remember modify DEX. When I click on this, only DEX in this list box will be changed. There will be no changes in this original table. So this is a way to parameterize our queries before execution. And if we select this first row, and if we type this docs string, when I click on make CSV, we are going to create actually four CSV files. We are going to create it by this docs and by this 3 docs queries. And they are going to look like this. So this is the first one. It has comma as delimiter. The second one is and this one we change, so that is why it shows 7. This is the second one, the third one, and the fourth one is using semicolon, and that is the reason why I opened it in Excel, because on my computer semicolon is a valid delimiter for Excel, and Excel will correctly present data from such CSV files. And then we again can use our tool. We're going to deselect this to export this big table. And when I click on make CSV, we are going to get this dialog. Now you cannot click on this dialog, you have to wait until export is successful or unsuccessful. And at the end you are going to get a message that everything went fine or that there is something wrong. Now our data is exported, and we can see how our exported data looks like. Now let's see our JSON file. Now this JSON file is something that you have to make in order to get this button in Power BI desktop file. You have to go to this location, and there you have to place your JSON file. Now this is how Power BI desktop will know that it should create this button. It has all information for creation of this button in this JSON file. You have a version, you have a text below that icon, you have some description, you have a full path to your Python executive file, full path to your Python script, and all of these letters they are base 64 encoding of this image. So basically they are textual presentation of that icon. And now that we place this JSON file at this location, we will get this button. And when we click on this button will call our Python script. This is our Python script. In our Python script, first we have to read our stored queries, and then we have to split all the queries by using these delimiters. And at the end, such queries will be sent to this function. This function will extract data, column names, file name, delimiter, and everything it needs, and then it will write all those informations into a new file. Now, below here we have a code that is needed for graphic user interface. First we have to create a main window, then we create a pane where we type our DEX query, then we have a button that will create CSV files, and this button will actually read our typed DAX string, and it will read all selected stored queries. It will connect them into one, and then it will call these functions on the top that will create our CSV file. Now beside this, we need a text box to enter name of a file. We have a button to clear our DAX string if we want to. Then we have radio buttons for selection of delimiter for CSV file, and then we have that list box that will have our stored queries. It is actually tree view control, but we are using it as a list box. And then we are going to fill that list box with our stored queries. We have a button to deselect all the stored queries that we don't want to execute, and when we right click on some of those stored queries, we are going actually to call this function, and this function will create that new dialog. It will create that place where we can change our DAX string. It will create a label, and at the end it will create that button to write modify DAX, and this is the function that will write that modify DAX into this first dialog, the main dialog that we created at the start. Now when we start exporting our files, at the end of exporting, we are going to get that dialog that says that there is work in progress, and that we have to wait a little bit, and at the end we are going to get a message that there is some problem, or that there is success, that we successfully exported our data.